this for you guys. Yeah, enjoy.
Welcome to the Thunder. It's Shooter. I'm here with Thomas Schooley.
Look at this guy. Classy fella.
Real classy at your local Panera Bread. And we just watched the Bolts drop game 1 of their Sunshine series against Florida down in Sunrise. Thomas Schooley, initial thoughts on today's game 1 loss?
We can't win a game 1 to save our lives. It's a pattern with the Lightning in the playoffs. Game 1s are not for the Lightning. We've lost almost every series game 1 in the last couple of years. First 10 minutes you see Orozco say, awful first 10 minutes. Usually is for both teams. Not so much for the Panthers on this one. They came ready. Lightning seemed not so ready. So it's gonna be interesting to see game 2.
Yeah, it kind of felt like if they survived that first rush, which they did let up a goal, then they would have had a much better chance to win. That first goal, Reinhart, deflection looked like off of a shot, just kind of trickled in, was a tough one to watch. I wouldn't put any of the 2 goals on Bassey. I know they scored 3 goals, but one was the empty netter. So at least we did get some good news to start the game, though, right? We had Glendening back. We had Mott back on that 4th line. So we got a little bit healthier than we thought we were going to be at. Who knows how injured those guys are playing, but I'm sure if they can play, that's why they're out there. But that was good news. But, yeah, Florida kind of took off in that first period. We didn't score, or we didn't have our first shot for, I think it was like the 13th or 14th minute into the game, which we've seen several times this year. And we've even won some of those games, I believe, that we've gone on these kind of long scoring droughts. But, man, 19 shots on goal against Bobrovsky, and this defense is not really going to cut it. And, the other thing I noticed about the stats here was the blocked shots. We definitely did our share of blocking shots with 21, but Florida only had to block 12. And that was just the results of us just not shooting the puck enough. I know we like to get fancy and everything, but look at Florida's first goal off a deflection. Those are the kind of goals that we got to start to get in the playoffs. So, yeah, first period, we got the goal by Reinhart, right? He was their big goal scorer during the season. Besides that goal by Reinhart, I thought they did a pretty good job stopping him. He scores all his goals right in front of the net like he did today. So with the exception of that, they did a good job of kind of cutting him off, given how many power plays the Panthers had versus how many we had. But yeah, right in front of the net, and the penalty kill most of the game was pretty good as well. Sorelli had a penalty right after that first Florida goal, and they killed it off pretty well. But, 0 shots, and the Lightning really scored on one of their first shots of the game when they must have started talking about it on the bench because they won that face-off, and Sorelli got a shot, Stammer got a shot, and then Hagel got that second rebound and put it in and made it 1-1.
Real quick, Orozco's here. Mott and Glendening didn't do anything. They played 9 and 12 minutes. When you're playing from behind, when you're not going to get Mott and Glendening in. I was just looking, Jeannot and Glendening both had 9.5 minutes. Mott had 12 minutes. Icy Mott, 13 minutes. Chafee, 11 minutes. So, when you're running from behind and you saw Coop, which he famously does, start shuffling those lines, you tend to get those that bottom line tends to sit more. We saw it last year with the Bellemare, Perry, Maroon line.
Yeah, I'd be more worried about the first line not scoring any goals than the 4th line not doing anything. We talked about it Friday. If the Panthers are able to shut down that first line, well, we're going to need some other people in this team scoring. And I thought AC Mont played really well that first period. Like he was jacked to be out there that first period and almost had that goal right at the end of the period, but sailed it over the net. Didn't even actually get it on goal. But I thought he had a really great first period. But that could have been the difference in this game is that first line got shut down. The second line did their job and scored a goal, but they've got to be able to find different goals. If Florida can continue to shut down Cooch and Point, which they didn't the whole game, you saw Point with some great chances towards the end of the game. Which, by the way, he's got to score on those. You can't miss on those top opportunities like the one that on the power play towards the end where he was in the middle of the ice and Bobrovsky didn't even look like he was in great position. It looked like he was falling down already. And he was way out on him, which probably helped him make that save. But yeah, if Point and Cooch aren't going to get their points and goals, then we do need something from that third and fourth line in addition to the second line. And that's kind of what happened today. They didn't get it. And Florida good defensively. So they shut us down.
And Florida gets those second line changes, so you get to see who they have matched up. So I think Coop's going to have to tinker with those lines a little bit more for game 2. I think he tends to see how they're playing us, and then usually the next game is a little bit different. So usually these low scoring games benefit the Lightning. And I expected there to be kind of blowout for each team. So it's going to be interesting game 2 what happens.
Yeah. By the way, we're going to give out a Monkey Colt gift card this game. So if you want to enter for that, all you have to do is write a comment. We're going to bring back our first star of the chat this offseason. So if you have a really great comment, we're on the side here. It allows us to put our favorites to the side. So Thomas, start doing that, and we'll pick a winner for Monkey Colt gift card. Get yourself a bag of coffee or some merch from Monkey Colt. I had 2 cups of coffee this morning before the game. All right, back to the game though. Load up the comments. Let us know what you think is going to happen in game 2. But more on game 1 here. I guess we'll talk about the second period. The second period was kind of boring. There wasn't too much going on, but you did see at the end of the first period and definitely into the second period a lot more aggressiveness and a lot of more hitting, right? And a couple of penalties. So you had the Stamkos hook. Lindell got that trip. That was really, Tampa's only full power play. I thought, I'm not going to sit here and complain about the refereeing, but man, there were a lot of missed hits. You had
we talked about that last show. They tend to swallow the whistle. It was 3-2, 3 penalties on the Bolts, 2 on Florida today. They tend to let things go, and of course, we have Wes McCauley, who I think all of the Lightning players and coaches have came out and said that is the ref they dislike the most.
Well, it was crazy because the Stamkos hook in the second, the Nick Paul trip, I guess you got to call that trip at the end of the third period because he just took him out right in front of the ref. But I don't know how you missed some of these hits. Like Dumba was getting hit without the puck even around a couple times, and they called it out on TV, the broadcast as well. It's a joke to hand out that last penalty with a minute left in the game, and that was a horrible penalty call too. That shouldn't have been a penalty on Verhaeghe. I guess technically it was a cross check, but that's usually one they don't call. So a lot of missed calls. But yeah, at the end of the game, because of that last one, it looks kind of even when you look at the stats. But
it was definitely a makeup call.
Yeah, and the Bolts' first power play looked awful, but we see that a lot. We see the Bolts power play either hit it off right away or, they have to get that first one out of the way to, get themselves set up and going. And they definitely on that second power play, obviously 6-on-4 was a different story with them getting a ton of chances and then Stamkos finally burying one that looked like a typical Stamkos goal that looks like it has no chance of going in and from that wide angle, and of course sneaks it in over Bobrovsky's shoulder, who was playing awesome all game. But yeah, that's hopefully they'll carry that power play momentum into the next game, and they'll get more than 3.5 minutes of, or I guess it was probably just about 3 minutes of power play time on this game. But they're not going to win the series by just scoring on the power play. They've got to score 5-on-5 goals. So we'll see what adjustments they make on the big game 2 on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And, Bobrovsky's probably the goalie this team knows the most. Because Stamkos, Hedman, Vasi, Cooch. I mean, all these players that have been with us for a while, even someone like Duclair, have faced Bobrovsky so many times. This is probably the one goalie they didn't have to do any scouting on and know very well. It's like our old Carey Price back in the day. That was someone the Lightning faced quite a bit for those couple of years before he retired. So Bobrovsky's definitely a goalie they know. They know his weak spots. They know he rebounds. So he did good. He did good today, but just as we're familiar with him, he's pretty familiar with us too and knows where he's coming. That shot by Stammer when we had the empty net. A lot of goalies that goes in. Bobrovsky knew it was coming.
Yeah, and throughout the game, you could tell they were trying to get more shots on goal. Definitely in that second period. In the third period, I'd like to see the stats because they didn't have too many shots in the third period until that last rush at the end when they pulled the goalie. Did you think Cooper pulled the goalie too early at 3 minutes? Because they were putting on some pressure before they pulled Vasi. It was.
I saw you tweeted about it, but they got some good shots in. I mean, they got that lucky for Panthers
Off the
bounce.
extension.
Yeah, and so I really thought they were going to score on that 6-on-5 when they pulled it, and I was going to be like, oh, this one's going into overtime. So I think if they had a couple more shots on goal, it could have got past Bob.
Oh, wow. I thought they had way more shots in the second period. It was 6 in the first, 4 in the second, and 9 in the third. They're not going to win any of these games with that lowest shot count, I think. With Bobrovsky, they've got to put more pucks on net.
No, but you think about, look how close this game was, and that's all they had. So they start shooting and get some past Bobrovsky. That they're going to win this.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the series because the way they played today, the way that we know this team's kind of wired with losing these game ones pretty often and doing that to us and then coming back pretty strong. So I totally expect them to score or not score. Well, yeah, score too, but have more than 0 shots in the first 12 or 13 minutes of game 2 would be nice. And I bet they start shooting more. And I hope they get into that mentality of not making these perfect plays and putting pucks on net like Florida's first goal was, and getting some deflections, getting some rebounds like our first goal was. That's what you got to do in the playoffs to score goals. They're not all going to be pretty goals. And we saw Cooch get pretty much shut down. He had some nice passes and some nice setups and had a couple shots. But for the most part, when he's shut down, these other guys got to figure out a way to score.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for any kind of remarks coming out of the locker room. So far, they're just videos, so I haven't been able to listen to them. But I don't think they'd be happy with their shot count. And probably that's about it. I mean, they didn't, I'd say, make too many mistakes that allowed the Panthers to score. But they were bad goals. So,
yeah, and this team's not going to go into panic mode. It's just one game on to the next one. And yeah, I will put my money on the Lightning to win in game 2. And really, if the Lightning were able to get just 1 or 2 more power play chances, I think they would have won this game. I think they would have scored on the power play, especially the way they were looking at the end.
well, so I was reading the comments on the NHL's Twitter about the game, and it seems to be much about the refs. were in the way. And it's just not Lightning fans saying that either. I see Wes McCauley took the game, but that's why you have to win 4-1. So, so here we go. Thank you to Paul Driscoll, who's talking about what I've had. The Lightning have lost game 1 of a series 12 times in their existence and still gone on to win that series. 2022 was the last time the ECF against the Rangers. Also, round 1 in 2022 against Toronto. 2021 versus the Islanders and the I don't know what he's calling it there, the SF. Stanley Cup Final versus Dallas in 2020. Round 2 in 2020 versus Boston. Round 2 in 2018 against Boston. 2016 round 2 against Islanders. So this team a lot loses the first game.
So you're not panicking over there?
No. I'm enjoying my free Panera drink.
Kim sounds like she might be panicking here. There's a fine line between being disciplined and letting the other team push you around. I don't think we got pushed around at all. We out hit them. We out hit them by 1. It was 55 to 54 hits. So I think that's part of Florida's game plan. We saw it against Boston last year when they just kind of pushed them around, but I don't think they pushed us around very much. Maybe Kim just wants to see a Tanner Jeannot fight. And yes, she says she wants him to get some more ice time.
Eric, we didn't blame the refs. I was saying what it was on Twitter because we had talked about how they tend to swallow the whistles, and that last penalty was probably a makeup call. But yeah, I don't say it was the refs that did this.
Yeah, I'd say it's the lack of shots. I mean, we almost didn't play a full first period there until they decided to wake up and score that goal and kind of change the momentum a little bit. And again, the shot count in that second period was only 4. I didn't realize that at all. But 4 shots in the second period is awful. And they went in a stretch in the third period because I remember they were talking about it on Bally's. They went on a stretch where it was like 13 to 4, something crazy, like 10 to 2 shots. Panthers in the first half of that third period. So we can't go in these like dry spells of just not getting any shots on goal and not having any offensive production. But overall, I thought the defense played fine. I thought Vasi played fine. At the end of the day, we lost by 1 goal. And it's 1 game and 1 series, and we've got the experience to overcome that. So,
yeah, and then you add on DeClaire, who last year played for those Panthers. So I think it's a little. He wants to win this one too.
Then he should score a couple more goals.
Yeah.
You think they stick with DeClaire on that line, or do you think they're going to put Hagel on that first line to start?
Hagel. Got to go with Hagel.
Switch it up. Yeah, it seems like they got to do something to get that first line going a little bit more. I like Sorelli's game today. I thought Sorelli played great. Again, the most underrated Bolt, apparently. He's overpaid, but shows up in the playoffs.
Yeah, you got to put Hagel back on that top line. Well, I've not seen anything really. Coach Coop explained the Panthers stuck to their game plan, but the Lightning abandoned theirs. With that being said, he seems pretty encouraged with how the rest of the 45 minutes now. So just the start of the game 1. So Coop ain't too worried. If Coop ain't worried, I ain't either.
No, I think they realized they could have won this game, and they probably now know what they need to do to win it. I'm curious who everyone thinks played really well for the Lightning. Like who's the best player on the ice for the Lightning? Like this comment from Eric: throw the puck on the net from everywhere. Totally agree. And yes, switch Brandon Hagel back to the first line. Nick Paul played decent. The fourth line was non-existent. Yeah, I think Nick Paul played well. Although when he did get that penalty at the end of the third or the end of the second period, I knew that was going to come back and bite us. That was not a good penalty to take, and that pretty much led to what was really the game-winning goal, which of course had to be Carter Verhaeghe, former Tampa Bay Lightning player, not
Of
giving
course.
Kachuk the empty net game-winning goal because we scored one after.
Sorry,
I don't know what else I got for you. Keep
No,
reading.
I mean,
They come in.
yeah, nothing else is no without actually listening to them. There's not many comments. They're all videos. Normally we get some kind of written text about it, but nothing except for that from Jay Richer about what Coop said. So you got to get shots. You're gonna have to get Hagel. I think Hagel in that first round to where that's a big threat, and you got to cover all three guys. And then I think even Duclair and Stammer, get them, and then there it becomes a threat, and then get the third and fourth line rolling.
Yeah, I'd like to see them be a little bit more aggressive offensively because the Florida Panthers defense is super aggressive. Like they're usually one-on-one on these, and if they can beat a guy to a puck and find an open guy, which they missed a couple this game, it'll be interesting to see if they kind of make some of these coaching adjustments.
And we can outspeed them. If we used our speed, we can outspeed them and get around their defenders and be able to get to the net. We've seen from the past, you get a lot of shots on Borowski and you start to get him out of his comfort zone, and you'll get those goals in. You don't want to stick with these 16, 17 shots so that you're going to get screwed every time. Yeah, still waiting on Dumba to show up. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. And Matt, there's going to be a lot of missed calls. It's going to be on both sides. We can't. It's game one. Let's not already start with the refs. Take the L. Move on. Tuesday, game 2, down in Sunrise. We could also say it was a day game. They fucked us over by a day game. Tampa doesn't do day games.
Matt Dumba, almost 20 minutes and had 10 hits. He was not out there for any of the Panthers' goals or ours. Our first line was out there. Our first line was a -2 this game.
Yeah, Paula -1, Radish -1, Duclair -1.
Braden Point, though, 4 shots. And we saw a really good chance there at the end on the power play right in the middle. That's the goal he's got to score. That's the goal he always scores. So, just one shot away from this being a completely different game. And Braden shot usually when he has 4 shots on goal.
By the way, Dumba, you mentioned 10 hits, the most hits on the team. And Radish was second with 6.
Yeah, we didn't see much Jano. Jano had 3 hits.
Oh, sorry. No, Radish only had 1 hit. So, am I?
No, that's shots.
6 hits. I was right, yeah. How many hits did Hetty have? Oh, 3.
He was out there hitting too. He had a couple hits.
3. Hetty had 3 for 25 minutes on ice. If you want to complain about a defenseman, complain about Hetty not hitting these guys. 3 hits and almost -2. Yeah, and a -2, 25 and a half minutes on ice time. He had the same amount of hits as Jano, and Jano only played 10 minutes. Jano had 9 minutes and 44 seconds, had 3 hits. Hetty, 25-24 on the ice, 3 hits.
Yeah, but it's not Hedman's game.
Chafee, 11 minutes, 3 hits. Chernak, 18 minutes, 4 hits. Sorelli, 16 minutes, 2 hits. I mean,
Did everyone on the team have a hit?
yeah, Cooch had 5 hits, 19 minutes.
Well, he couldn't do anything with the puck, so you might as well start hitting.
Yeah. Stammer
Yeah.
had 3. I mean, come on.
You got to give Florida credit for really shutting down Cooch. They did that, and that might have just been the difference in this game. Can they do it 3 more times is the question. And even if they do it, we can see these guys on the rest of the lines start to pick it up and pick up the slack. So we've got to win a couple games where he's going to get shut down. It's just going to happen because they're going to be all over him. And then that also changes when they come play at home too, because then we get the advantage with who's going to be out there, who the matchups.
I honestly think whoever wins game 2 is going to win this series.
Oh,
They've seen how each other plays. So if Lightning don't make adjustments and go down to 0-2, I don't think they're going to win the series. If they come back and make adjustments, attack the net, put shots on goal, hit people, I think they take the series.
Ryan says that worries me that the speed, the Bolts look slow out there for parts of the game.
They do that. They play down. They play down. It always happens. And someone had messaged me after the first period and said, "No, very little shots, too many." And I said, they always do that. They always wait and sit back and feel the other opponent. We see it every single series. I think if we go back and look at other shows on game 1s that we have done, it's always the first game is always their worst performance of the series. And they just sit back, and I don't know if they're like, just Nigel, just film everything and we will discuss it, because we suck on the game 1s because we just sit back and do nothing and let them play their game, and then we make adjustments for game 2.
Yeah, I'm expecting a much better too. I don't know why Dumba's getting a lot of hate in the chat. I didn't think he was that bad this game. I think overall his time with the Bolts has not been all-star worthy or even close to it, but I don't think he was the problem this game.
No.
There wasn't any turnovers that led to goals. He wasn't even out there for any goals, and I think he helped more than anything with 10 hits, being the one that was responding the most to Florida coming out trying to hit us. And you knew that they were going to come out with the guns blazing in that first period. They're home. It's their first playoff game. They went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. This year, the expectations to get there and win it. We're their rival. So you knew they were coming at us that first 5-10 minutes, and they did. It's just a shame the Bolts couldn't get anything going after that and kind of shift that momentum in our favor, because I almost felt like if we scored that second goal, then it's probably going to be a different game from there on out. But they got the second one on the power play at the beginning of the third period, and that was it.
So Cooper, on how he keeps his team from getting frustrated when scoring chances aren't there. Have you seen us play in the playoffs for the last decade? These boys have weathered all the frustration they could possibly can, and we've seen it in every different way.
Yeah, the core has, but remember, we have so many players on this team that have not won the Stanley Cup that weren't there for a lot of those games. So
Cooper, they're at home. It's game 1. Crowd's pumped up. They had all this energy. Give them tons of credits. They went to the game plan, and we abandoned ours before it even started. I give the guys credit. They weathered the storm for like 12, 13 minutes, whatever it was. And then we played. That's the problem. 16 teams are out. Now there's only 16 teams left, so the margin of error is so much smaller now. Then you turn the game into a 45-minute game instead of a 60-minute game. You're giving us a little bit less of a chance to do anything.
that's what he texted me right after.
Yeah. Cooper, it's 2 good teams. Tight check-in teams do check. What we have to do is when we do get the chance, we have to put it behind them. I can't sit here and say one team out-chanced the other one. It was pretty tight checking game. And in the end, a power play goal is the difference.
And that was it today. Tight game. We usually win these games. Today wasn't meant to be. And it's all good. It's not our first rodeo. We'll
Nope.
come back strong in game 2. I almost feel like there's no way we lose game 2. And even if
No.
we do lose game 2, I'm not going to hit the panic button yet, but I know Facebook and Twitter are going to be a mess. Because we are a much, much better team at home. Although we did lose to the Panthers at home like 10-1 or something this season. I was at that game. It was horrible. I don't think they put up 10. I think it was like 9-2.
Hey, at least we aren't Leafs fans, okay?
Oh gosh, the Leafs look horrible last night.
Sure did.
No, this is going to be a different series. We'll see if Toronto can bounce back in that series, but you can tell this is going to be a tight series. It would be very surprising if it's not 6 games or 7 games. You and I both picked 7 games. So there is a long, long way to go in the series. And then what's Tuesday? So Tuesday's game 2. Lightning are doing watch party up at Midtown. So if you want to go check out the Lightning, I think this is the first time they're actually doing the outdoor watch party at Midtown.
It is.
So if you want to go watch, they did the watch party today over at Sparkman's, which I didn't see any pictures or anything, but I also wasn't really looking.
No, I haven't seen much from it.
Midtown interests me. I might go. I might broadcast from there. We'll see.
And you tend to not get too many pictures when it's a loss. So
Well, before we were losing, could have got some pictures of the scene.
Kim was there. It was hot as fuck, she said. So
True.
listen,
Summer's here.
if you're at the watch party today, don't go to anymore. Superstition.
We want empty watch parties.
Let's see. Hedman on the response after the first. We settled into the game. We knew that usually the home team comes out hard. It feels like that in every series so far that we've watched. We've just got to make sure that we're ready to go and try to tilt the ice the other way in game 2. Yeah, or hit somebody heading. By the way, Dumba had the most hits out of both teams. No one on Panthers had as many as Dumba had. So as you're complaining about Dumba, just know he hit more than anybody.
Yeah, Leah's chiming in. It sounds like it was hot down at Sparkman's Wharf. No, they didn't turn the fans on for you.
Yeah.
Pipe in some of that AC from Emily.
By the way, have you seen the video that Baker did?
I did. It's a great video.
It is a great video. Tell me that doesn't get you going for this series and for the playoffs. I expect it to be very loud. Come. What is that first
Game 3?
game? Yeah. Thursday.
Yeah, we're both going, right? So we're going to go live PD style afterwards.
Yeah.
Right.
You can join me in the bush.
2 birds in a bush.
2 guys, 1 bush. What?
Oh. Well, we might be crying in that bush if we lose the next 2. But I really don't think that's going to happen. I feel like I haven't been on social media yet, but I feel like there's not that much panic. There's not much panic in the chat here.
So what Sarah is saying is apparently she needs to go naked.
or not wear Bolts apparel. Every time I wear Bolts apparel while watching, hold on, put it back up there. Oh yeah, we'll see it. Every time I wear Bolts apparel while watching on TV, we lose, and today followed suit. So I'll no longer be repping Bolts gear on game days. That's so sad.
Can you start wearing Panther stuff?
Yeah, where's our Photoshop of Thomas Cooley, the Panthers fan?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to take
By the
that.
way, here's the new playoff hat that the Lightning are repping this year.
Very
Picked it
nice.
up at the team score yesterday.
An incredible
Hat. All right. Well, what else, man? That's it.
That's it.
short show when we just talk about losing.
Yeah. I told Shooter right before we came on, because actually I'm on break from work right now, and I told my employees, listen, it won't be that long. It's going to be the ref sucked, the shooting sucked, and we suck. The end. And we're losing. That was going to be it. That's how I'm sure the Lightning groups are going right now.
Also, wasn't very impressed with any of the comments, folks.
Yeah.
At least make us laugh.
No, I only starred one of them.
Well, hold on. We'll change that. Let's do a little hashtag here. What hashtag do you want? You got any good ones? Go Bolts.
Dumba.
Dumba. All right. Put in hashtag Dumba with your comment. And give us a prediction. Give us a score prediction for game 2. So give us a prediction, hashtag Dumba, and then we will have our giveaway, one of these $25 gift certificates for Monkey Colt Coffee. That gets you a bag of coffee plus maybe a little merch from Monkey Colt.
Cake. Get a rum cake.
Oh, yeah, you get a rum cake too.
Get a rum cake.
I like the coffee. Scully likes the rum cake. They have a bunch of other stuff too on the website. They're expanding. So, yeah, put that in there. We'll get a winner here in 5 minutes. So put your predictions in there. Orozco's going 4-2 Bolts. 4-2 is like just the go-to hockey score that everyone picks because Leah also says 4-2. Sarah's going 4-1. Then Bar's saying great game. Not the greatest unless you're a Panthers fan. And even if you're a Panthers fan, was it that great? I guess if you're a Panthers fan, you're pretty happy about winning game 1. Post game, won it then, but didn't break. I would say they definitely outplayed us. They definitely deserved to win this game more than we did, right?
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth's going 3-1. Ryan's going 3-2. Keep putting those predictions in there, and we'll pick a winner here, and then we'll get you out of here to enjoy your Sunday afternoon. What other games we got today on the schedule? I have a hockey game here at Clearwater in about an hour and a half.
But by the way, how fitting is it that Mark Stone is cleared to play now for Vegas?
Well, he wasn't the only one, right? Then
right, there's 3 of them. 3 total. All injured players have been cleared to return to play in hockey.
And they've done the same thing for the last 3 years. At one point, like I realized that's how it works. That's the rules of long-term IR, and it doesn't count, or you can get those players back in the playoffs. But at one point, is it abusing the rules when you've done it 3 years in a row and magically everyone's healthy at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're talking about placing that rule next season where if they don't play game 2 at 82, then they can't play. I think it should be the first round.
Oh, Vin is from South Florida. Go Panthers. Yep, congratulations. Big game 1 win. Well, you missed it, Vin. We were talking about the Lightning lose a lot of game 1, so we're not hitting the panic button yet, but definitely a good game for the Panthers. They won this one for sure. If we ended up coming back and winning this game, I would have said we stole this game from you guys.
So this is from Panthers Paul Maurice. He said there was not enough action tonight for either team to say, yeah, we got it. It was a very flat game.
I agree. Second period was super boring. Third period wasn't that exciting either. I thought the first period was fun. Mostly on the Panthers side for the first 15 minutes. But we came out strong. I would have liked to see, after Mikey had such a really solid first period, man, he sure went away pretty quickly in the second and third period. I did not notice him quite as much in the game. I wonder how many minutes he played. By the way, Caps Rangers first period right now 0-0. Rangers 7-2. And then you do have the Avs and Jets playing later tonight at 7. The Jets have actually dominated the Avalanche all season, but regular season doesn't matter anymore. And then you got the Predators and Canucks at 10 o'clock. All really good games to kick us off. And I thought the game with Carolina and the Islanders was a pretty good game yesterday with Carolina winning. Yeah, Icy Mont disappeared. All right, 4-1 Bolts. Anybody else want to get in on this? Because we are wrapping this thing up. This is our shortest show in a very long time. We've only been on for 40 minutes, and there's just not much to talk about. So we got 7 people in. Add hashtag Dumba for your comment. Give us a score prediction for next game. We'll give it 2 more minutes here, and we'll do the drawing for the Monkey Bolt Coffee gift card. Jump on the website, get some good coffees, rum cakes, all kinds of stuff. Get yourself a Monkey Cold shirt. I should have worn my Monkey Cold shirt today. I love that shirt. It's actually super comfortable. By the way, for game 2, we have Cigar City Highlight hockey jerseys. So there better be some good comments in the chat for game 2. Usually when we win, everyone's in a better mood. And there's more. Bolts are a great game too. It'll be a tough series. This is going to be the best series, I think. I just listed off the other games that are playing today, and I'm going to probably check out some of those later games. But this is the series to watch totally for this first round. And we said it on Friday or Thursday when we last went live. The winner of this series can very well go on to the Stanley Cup Finals in these two because I don't think Boston and Toronto are that impressive. And it just kind of depends who you're going to see in the Eastern Conference Finals. So we'll see what happens. A lot of hitting, not enough shooting for the Bolts, but just watch. Just watch them get 40 shots next game. And if they get 40 shots, there's no way they lose. You don't think they're going to shoot that much?
No, I was saying no to Sarah. No, I think that they're going to learn their lesson, and it's going to be a whole bunch of shots on that next game.
Yeah, I bet it opens up a little bit too next game on both sides. Like you're going to see a couple more odd man rushes, which you really didn't see. Breakaways, you didn't really see too many of those this game. I bet the next game it really opens up and we get a lot higher scoring game.
Yeah, I think they're just going to shoot at the net from everywhere on that ice. You're going to see the blue liner shooting more. And what we've always had for success is that kind of stuff. We talked about it last season. We have success when our D-men are scoring. In order to do that, they need to shoot it. All right, let's pick a winner and get out of here.
Yes, sirree. Hashtag Doomba, last chance. We're going to Doomba it right now. All right, let's see who our winner is. Monkey Colt Coffee. By the way, each game we're going to have some different giveaway. Game 2 is
Ooh, Kathy Rhodes.
Kathy Rhodes.
Take me home, Kathy Rhodes, to a place.
Sing
I'm
it.
I'm sleep deprived.
Well, Kathy Rhodes, you're gonna take home some Monkey Cold Coffee. You don't have to take Thomas Cooley home, but take home some Monkey Cold Coffee. And if you can shoot one of us a message or the page a message, we'll get your information on getting you that gift card. Game 2 is Tuesday night. So we'll be here after game 2, hopefully in a little bit better of a mood. Some more smiles on our faces.
Real quick, something good. Yesterday I went and did the MS walk with Sonia, and she was awarded the National MS Society Inspiration Award for 2023. It was given to Sonia Bryson. So congratulations to Sonia. She was also the the speaker to start it off because she won the award. So congratulations to her.
Awesome. Congrats, Sonia. All right. Somebody's got to go make some pizza. I'm going to go take out my frustration. See, this is cool, Schoolie, because now I get to play. So I'm going to right all the wrongs of the Lightning. Unfortunately, it's not going to help them at all. But I get to make myself feel better. You get to feel better by making some delicious pies. And hey, we just started this playoff journey. Let's do it again on Tuesday. Will we?
We'll see everybody Tuesday.
This has been We the Thunder. Don't forget to be the Thunder.
That's it.